There are some reasons why Charlotte is seeing 113 people move there on the daily basis. Over the last 14 years, Charlotte has seen an increase of population of more than 1 million people from 2010 until now, 2024. The question has to be, why? We're about to get into the reason why everybody, and including myself, I was a part of that migration group as well, that moved up to, well, down, I should say, because I'm from New York. So I came down to the Charlotte, North Carolina area. The reason why people are moving to the Charlotte area is because specifically of job and employment opportunities. I promise you guys, Charlotte is the second largest banking financial infrastructure center in the entire United States. The second, you have Bank of America. Wells Fargo has their East Coast headquarters here, and you have Truist Bank. Those are all top 10 major commercial banks inside, with headquarters inside the Charlotte, North Carolina area, or close around one of the suburbs, right? That is massive when you think about that. Think about it this way. Banks lend money, right? Particularly because they're trying to make money off you, but they lend money. What better way? In your backyard, you have almost three of the top 10 financial institutions in your backyard. They're going to loan money to the locality first, or that county or that local community first. Think about that. Your banks, your housing, your cars, already your personal loans, the SBA loans, they've been giving out business loans left and right. And with all the growth inside the city, there's apartments flying up everywhere. A lot of that has to do with the local banks. And if you're headquartered there, right? Bank of America Stadium. Think about where the Panthers play. Their name is on the stadium. That makes a lot of sense. And for people looking to be in the financial realm or that industry, this place has had a lot of people moving here. There's room to scale up. With the average age in Charlotte is only 34, anywhere between probably like 34 to about 38 years old. So you got a lot of young people taking the realm and really taking that job growth. Everybody wants to, take that corporate ladder up. This is the perfect place to do it, especially if this is your field. Now, Charlotte has other fields as well, manufacturing being one of them. The manufacturing industry inside of Charlotte employs 145,000 people inside and around the city of Charlotte. That's crazy. That is, the manufacturing jobs inside of North Carolina is massive, man. When you think of how many people that employs, it's crazy. And listen to this, Red Bull just committed, and this is, I think, gonna be in Concord, if I'm not mistaken, $171 million infrastructure building, square footage, warehouse, whatever you want to call it, all wrapped into one building. They committed $171 million to employ, I think it's about 2,000 people. That's going to be, again, manufacturing, making Red Bull. Now, I don't necessarily drink Red Bull, but it's good for the Concord community economy and just that specific town to rebuild it and get it back to where it used to be, as known as a manufacturing town. So that's amazing. Now, you thought I was done? No, the tech industry has been booming inside of Charlotte as well. The tech industry has grew in Charlotte from 2020 to about 2022, 27.6%. So there's a lot of jobs moving and flowing towards the North Carolina area. And that's just one little taste of how many people are moving for that reason and what the opportunities are inside this region for a lot of people that's moving up in one of those fields. And of course, we have the healthcare. Healthcare is huge here, employs a lot of different people. Oh, and I didn't even tell you, between those three banks, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, and Truist, they employ more than 45,000 people. So there's some opportunities opportunity here when it comes to job growth. The second thing I think a lot of people are moving up here is for the quality of life. It's still relatively affordable to live, especially when it comes to housing, right? Housing right now, and you're probably gonna find a median price for about $400,000, right? If you thinking of more new builds, you might be leaning more towards like the 450s, kind of closer to the fives, depending on what you're looking for. But around 400,000, you're gonna get something nice. And on top of that, which is great, your property taxes are not high, right? Maybe $2,000-$3,000 per year. Something new or new development, you may max out at $5,500 or $6,000, right? That is amazing. When you're talking about your mortgage principal and feeding that into your taxes, you're not taking away your principal mortgage because you have to pay taxes. Your taxes are not crazy. You get something affordable, and the growth inside the city when it comes to new builds and apartments have been remarkable. I mean, there's so much growth, and that's going to be our next topic, but let's finish up the relatively affordable living. Now, inflation has hit every single city. Charlotte has been no different. Obviously, a lot of people watching this that's been in Charlotte their entire life, they're gonna say it's getting outrageous or very expensive to live in. I get it, trust me. The whole country is feeling that way right now. It's $20 for a pack of chicken. Like, everybody's rent has went up, mortgage has increased, interest rates are high, things are just more expensive, and Charlotte has felt that same infrastructure. It does not negate the fact that we're still at the average price point of homes. And even if you think end of 22, when the national home price was $470, $475, almost pushing $480, Charlotte was still in the low to 400s, maybe 415-ish, right? So you're still relatively affordable, especially when it comes to the number one thing that people are thinking about when it comes to housing. Utilities, gas, groceries, you're kind of going to be on a cusp, relatively affordable that's going to be across the nation, right? That's going to be average with everywhere else, right? Not like a major city like California or LAX, LA, or definitely not New York City. It's stupid expensive to live in those places. But from where a lot of you guys are relocating from is going to fit that kind of average realm when it comes to a lot of different things of your amenities and things like that. So just know that. Plus, you get a way better quality of life. The sun shines all the time when it comes to Charlotte, right? That is one of the most beautiful things because that adds on to your quality of life. You ever had like a week of just rain or a few days of just rain? It kind of put a little damper on your mood, right? Generally in Charlotte, you always get some type of sunshine. But if that sky open up, it dumps in Charlotte. I mean, the rain pours. It pours. There's one kind of drawback that you do have. It's gonna be sunny, it's gonna be nice, but when that sky open up and that precipitation start to come down, boy, do it get wet real fast. And in that same breath, one thing I do love, and a lot of people seem to enjoy about Charlotte, is that you do get all 4 seasons, man. You get that spring bloom. You're gonna get that hot summer. It's gonna get hot. It's gonna be nice, but it's gonna be hot. I mean, as soon as you step out your door, you're gonna have a sweat bead dripping down your forehead. It's because of the humidity is so great there. But you also have a really nice fall. You're gonna have that change in leaves. You're gonna have that orange, kind of reddish kind of scenery, which is nice. You're just not stuck at one temperature or one kind of season all year round. I like that, and a lot of people seem to enjoy that too as well. So that kind of adds on to the quality of life when you're talking about something that a lot of people are looking forward to, especially these days, working from home, always in the home, kids at the home. You kind of get that chance to step outside on a yearly basis because it doesn't get that cold there. Now you're gonna hit 30s, 40s, at night, but during the day you're gonna be right back up to 55, 60 degrees. It just, when you get home, cut on the heat a little bit. But quality of life there, when it comes to the weather, when it comes to affordable living, is something that Charlotte it just has that it factor. It really does. Now let's talk growth, because I think that's really undermined. The growth in the city, as we talked about before at the beginning of this video, has seen almost 1 million people from 2010 to 23 moved there. There's a reason, and that reason is the potential. Again, we already talked about jobs, but the growth inside the city. You do not get that many people moving to one single location without growth, without new apartments, without new construction. Everywhere you go, it doesn't matter what section of the city that you're in, what town that you're in, you're going to see a lot of development, especially when it comes to apartments, especially when it comes to housing, especially when it comes to new businesses, new eateries, new restaurants. You gotta think that many people kind of piling in one area, you're going to get a lot of diversity, which is going to affect the people around, because everybody's new here, right? So it's going to be easy to make friends, right? It's going to be easy to kind of get out and meet new people. Shoot, everybody new, everybody in the same boat. Where you from? I'm from here. So you're making friends on a daily. Plus that diversity, you don't just have, it's not secluded or segregated in any type of way. I like that about the city, especially if you inside that 485 loop. That's just a loop that kind of go around Charlotte. The diversity inside the city is kind of unmatched, and we already talked about it. So you have the young people, diversity, job growth, and they're building houses, man. That's amazing. Personally, I don't want to be in no old 1915 Craftsman. You know what I'm saying? They're beautiful, they're nice, not my cup of tea. I know a lot of people who feel that way. So when you come down here, you can get something modern, you're working good, plus the diversity, and you have things to do for young people. Man, I'm telling you, that's a win-win-win-win. I promise you guys. And one thing I will say, for a city that has so much population, especially so quick, the city is pretty clean. Like you have homeless people downtown, right? You're always gonna have that. They don't bother you though. So I mean, don't be afraid of that. So I think that's really a really good thing that the city has going for it. It's very clean, it's policed. The police be chilling though. They don't really bother you unless you going, you're just doing reckless stuff. That was pretty cool. I think that's what's nice. It's clean, man. It's a nice downtown, and there's always something to do for everybody. So it don't matter if you're coming up here to retire or you're a young person looking to start out, there's things to do for everybody. Don't believe what they be saying on Reddit every now and again, saying, oh, there's nothing to do. Everybody says that about their city. If you find something to do, you can easily find it in Charlotte. Whether you're talking about sports events, going out, there's 1,000 rooftop bars and breweries. Like, there's things going on inside the city, downtown, or whatever town. Let's say you want to go to Mooresville or Concord or something. There's things to do out there. I promise you guys. And it doesn't really matter what age that you guys are in. You can find it. Or even if you take a weekend trip, you got the water, a few hours to, what would that be, east, and then you got the mountains going west. Like, you have a lot to do. Or take a ride out somewhere else. I mean, you're in the South, you have things to do in the city, and I think that's definitely a true positive, especially when it comes to you're working all week, you want to have fun on the weekend. And lastly, education, right? And this kind of plays on into that kind of young, thriving city. Like Charlotte has that. Like, people are really about their business in this city, and I love that, especially when it comes for a younger crowd like myself. Like, they get to it in the city. I like that. But I think what adds to that is because of the education inside of Charlotte. You got to think of how many major colleges are in and around Charlotte. UNC, Tar Heels, Duke, Devils, NC State, right? Clemson, Wake Forest. Like, you have these are not little, like, these are ACC, SEC colleges. Like, you know what I'm saying? These are massive colleges, and all a couple hours or a few hours from each other. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that adds on to it. You talk about major universities in a thriving city, that gives the chance for people to come out of college right into something good, right? So when that happens, people are going to stay. They're going to invest in that city that they just spent the last 4 years into. Now they have a job there, they can get a family there, and you kind of take that trickle on effect. Plus, with other people coming to the city, I think that's what really is giving Charlotte that push up really high right now. So those are a couple things. I know I kind of had a little rant going on there, but those are things that really is pushing people and pulling people in the direction of Charlotte, North Carolina. So if you guys are thinking about moving up here, make sure you guys hit me out with that call, email, text. We will love to be able to find you either an apartment or house that you guys are looking for. And in the meantime, make sure you guys do watch 2 videos. I got 2 videos for you. Make sure you guys watch the pros and cons. We don't dive as deep into what we just talked about. Like this was more of a deeper discussion on the pro end, but make sure you guys do watch the 5 reasons not to move up to Charlotte, because yes, all this sounds good, but you know there's 2 sides to every coin. So make sure you guys watch that too as well. But if you guys have any questions moving up here, make sure you guys hit me out with that call, email, text. Again, my name is Devontae Davis, and as always, I will see you guys inside the next one.